What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to the Cloud Gaming Extreme channel. Welcome to another episode of Let's Chat. Man, we got some good stuff to talk about. So you guys can see the title. So appreciate you guys being here, man. Again, just getting back in the grind of things with, again, the fire happening 2 weeks ago and having to take that week off. But again, this is an open chat format. The goal of this is to just communicate with you guys. The reason why we have a topic of discussion is just to keep the conversations going. But the main goal for these open chat is just to connect with you guys. So if you guys have any questions about the channel, any questions about any of the videos that we've made, feel free to come up here and just ask us. Again, we want to connect with you guys with open chat format. Let me know how I sound. Got a new microphone. Hopefully you guys can hear better, and hopefully we don't get that annoying noise that continues to happen with our open chat formats. But man, so excited today. Just woke up to some pretty cool news in the cloud gaming space, and we're going to talk about that. So as you guys know, you guys have probably heard, I'm sure all the major news outlet, gaming, even electronic news outlet has covered this news, the news of Microsoft purchasing Bethesda Game. So this is a pretty interesting move. But before we get started, I'm going to take a second to say hello to you guys who are on this chat. It looks like we have some of you guys on already. So we got Semi-Pro. What is good, dude? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. We have Ron A. Ron, it's good to see you, my guy. What is up? We have Mr. Chief. What's up, sir? How are you? And we have Ben. What is good, dudes? All right. Again, this is open chat. The goal is to connect with you guys. So feel free to just ask questions. And again, I'll try to answer them to my best abilities. All right. So let's get into the topic of conversation, which is, again, Microsoft purchasing Bethesda Games. So what does this mean, guys? That's the question I want to ask you guys. Is we know Bethesda is a huge third-party supporter. They support, games on other platforms. For instance, they have games on the Nintendo Switch. They have games on Google Stadia. They have games for the PlayStation platform, right? So what does this all mean for cloud gaming? So two things, right? The way you look at this, Microsoft has been playing nice. When I say playing nice, so they purchased the Mahjong, if that's how you say, the studio that creates Minecraft, right? But you still see Minecraft on other platforms. You see Minecraft on the Nintendo Switch. You see Minecraft on the PlayStation platforms. So is that going to continue with Bethesda games, right? Or are they going to keep those games exclusively to Xbox and Gamepass? That's a big question to ask, because if that's the case, then you mean this goes to say or show that we won't be seeing any more Bethesda games come to the Google Stadia platform. And this might be the reason why they pulled Bethesda from GeForce NOW and how they've never opted back into the GeForce NOW program. So that's something to consider, right? Or are they going to have this to where, it's going to be just PC and Xbox? So we'll see Bethesda games on PC and just Xbox, which means then we will not be seeing Bethesda game on PlayStations or Nintendo Switch, or they might Sony, Nintendo and Microsoft have this weird relationship to where we possibly will still be seeing them bring the games over there. But what does this mean for cloud gaming is the big question, right? And I just want to hear from you guys in the comments. What are your thoughts on this? Do you guys think that we're going to see games just be exclusive to Bethesda game, just be exclusive to the Xbox gaming family, if you want to call it, ecosystem? Or do you think we'll see it continue to be available on other platforms such as the Switch and the PlayStation and Google Stadia? Because I'll be honest with you guys, it'll be a major blow if it just is exclusive to the Xbox platforms, because those are great games. Doom Eternal's one of my favorite first-person shooters of this year on Google Stadia. So we're going to see a sequel to that ever in Google Stadia. So it's a great question to ask, right? But overall, this news, I think, shocked the gaming industry. So here's my thing. Here's my thing. People are so concerned about next gen, right? We sitting here talking about PlayStation 4, what is Sony going to do with the PlayStation Now? We sitting here talking about Xbox. I mean, we've showcased the showcase event on this channel. So a lot of people are anticipating and a lot of people are excited for next gen, right? But it's so interesting the approach that Microsoft is taking for next gen. I've never seen this in the gaming history, and I think they are actually doing something different that should be really scaring their competitors, and I'll get into that in a bit, right? Never, never have we seen a video game company focus on software and a package more than an actual physical system. And I believe that's what we see now, right? You see, Sony's doing the traditional approach, right? They're taking the approach of, we're going to bring you the flashiest, sexiest looking hardware. And then we're going to bring our first party games to speak, to back that up, right? You see Nintendo do that with the Switch. We're going to create a sexy handheld, that has ability to do other things. But then we're going to present you guys with the dopest first party exclusives. Remember when the Switch launched, every month they had a first, they launched with Breath of the Wild, then they had Mario Kart, then they had ARMS, then they had Splatoon, then they had Mario Odyssey, and then they had another game every month they had like killer first party IPs, right? What Microsoft is doing has never been done before, which I think I wonder if I'm Sony, if I'm Google Stadia, I'm wondering like, what is this? How do we prepare? So what Microsoft is doing is they're saying, hey, we're gonna put a package together that is going to offer more values to the consumer than just purchasing a flashy console and the AAA games to back up that console, right? So you see them make the consoles accessible to pretty much everyone. This is the cheapest I think Microsoft has ever launched a console, $299 for the Xbox Series S. Right, so you're getting the Series S for $299, but not only that, you don't have to actually have the cash up front to buy it. You can get on a 24-month program, and not not only that, right? They could have just easily stopped there, but then they said, we're going to provide you guys with 24-month access to Game Pass. So not only you get a console, right, for pretty much nothing up front, right, but then you get in 100+ games that you can play instantly on that console. Talk about value for the consumers. We've never seen such a thing like this, which I think, and I've said this in the Discord, people have probably heard me say this, right? But Sony is prepping for this generation. You seen them get ready for the PlayStation 5. They want to push this. I mean, people are sitting there saying, oh, Sony is bad with PR, with the way the whole pre-order went. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that on purpose. They know there's demand for the system and they want to build hype before the release, right? So again, they said when they had the showcase, they said that the console was going to be available for pre-orders the next day, and they made it available instantly, right? So again, people were able to get it limited people were able to get it, but then the majority of the people weren't able to get it, which then made news. And people like, oh my goodness, this is going to be really hard to get come this Christmas. I think Sony knows what they're doing when it comes to stuff like that. Right. But again, that is Sony doing the traditional sexy console, bring the first party studios, and Microsoft's taking a different approach. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. And I think I've never seen. I've been gaming since I would say the Nintendo era. I was there when Genesis and Super Nintendo released, and the first PlayStation and Dreamcast and all that stuff. And I've never seen a console launch like this, which I think, honestly speaking, Microsoft has a great thing here. They're thinking about the consumers. They're thinking about what can we do to make sure that our games are available to everyone, right? Again, you can not only you can play these games on your smartphones. All you have to do is just get a $15 ultimate pass, and if you have a smartphone, which a lot of people do, Android smartphone or tablet, you can play your Xbox games on there. No barrier to entry, right? You don't have to go and buy a $300 console, right? You can play all of Microsoft First Party Studio. What they're doing with this purchase of Bethesda is they're saying, hey, we want to up the portfolio of our games, right? So the biggest thing people are saying Xbox isn't having the games with this purchase. And guys, I don't think it's going to stop here. I really don't think it's going to stop here. I can see them making other bigger acquisition. If Rockstar ever gets, they were once in a financial pinch, but best believe Microsoft is eyeing Rockstar. These companies that might struggle financially, Microsoft is just in their way to scoop them up. And I think their first party lineups actually gonna just continue to grow. They have the money to spend. This is not the last of the acquisition, but anyway, I'm gonna take a break from rambling on and answer some of y'all's questions on here. I can talk about this for days, man, but this is an open chat format. It's not just Ace rambling. All right. So PS2 Pro Gamer says, "What's up, Hayden? How are you?" I'm so confused. I have access to too many platforms, and I just want to commit for a couple. That's a good problem to have, David. The fact that you have a lot of platforms to commit to. How about this though? Think about this like a Netflix type. We live in a different age. You know, before it used to be like I was saying, you have a traditional console that hooks up to your TV and you buy games and you just play those games. We live in a time where it's all about customer's choice. Most people have access to a screen now, right? So how do we make our games available to the screens that people have? It's so interesting because Microsoft actually just released a phone called the Surface Duo. And their approach to that phone was they stated that the Microsoft that you know, right? The Microsoft that you love and the Android that you know, right? So they weren't trying to change the game. They weren't trying to reinvent anything. It's like, okay, people are familiar with Android. They know how it runs. We're not going to create a new operating system to compete with Android. We're just going to give the people, right, the Microsoft that they love. So if you use Office 365 and all of Microsoft other product, you can now use that in a more sexy, appealing way with a dual screen with the Surface Duo. I feel like in a way that is a similar approach that they're taking here. We're not trying to reinvent next gen. We're gonna give you guys a box, the Series S and X, right? But people have smartphones, right? People have other things. Why not just make our games available to what people already own? And yeah, it's a different time we live in, man. And this is good. I like this. I think it pushes technology forward. People who don't like technology might have a hard time with this. People who are traditional to gaming, right? Who all they've known is buying a console and a game, right? But this is changing, and I think is good. Again, Netflix is doing it, Hulu's doing it, HBO Max is doing it. Why can't gaming do it, right? So I feel like, this is where we're heading, and this is where Game Pass Ultimate is for 25. It's only $15 a month, if that's what you're asking. So for $15 a month, you can not only play something people are failing to realize. Microsoft just acquired a bunch of new studios too. So people always joked around that Microsoft doesn't have killer for, but now they have Hellblade Sensuna. That's a dope game, So they acquired all these other, not just Bethesda, but they acquired all these other publishers. So not only are we going to be seeing Bethesda games on Game Pass, but Hellblade and Suna. I mean, the last showcase just shows the amount of that when it comes to games, right? That we're going to be receiving on Game Pass. So for $15, not 25 a month, I feel like it's a killer deal for sure. But this is good, man. I love when technology moves forward, and I feel like in this case, this is that too. If Bethesda don't want us to play on GeForce Now, then will Xbox Game Pass opt in GeForce? That is funny. I think this move, when moves like this happen, when companies leave a platform. You see this with GTA 5 leaving GeForce Now, and in a month, Sony said it was coming to the PlayStation Now network. When companies leave, most of the time there's stuff going on, in the background. So Bethesda leaving GeForce Now, this might have been it. But no, I do not see them coming back to the GeForce Now platform, only because Microsoft Studios actually opt out. Now, if Microsoft Studios was still opt in and Bethesda left, then I can make the case of saying now that they are kind of associated with Xbox, then Xbox Game Studios can bring those games back. But the fact that Bethesda and Microsoft First Party Studios opt out of GeForce Now, I don't think we're seeing. And which brings to the beauty of what I was talking about earlier. You have choices, right? You're not just limited to one console. Okay, if these games are not on GeForce Now, guess what? You can still use Shadow or Max Settings to still experience these games. Or you can just go get the Game Pass app and experience it through there. So you have options. This is the beauty of gaming in 2020, man. You have options. You're not limited. You don't have to go buy a physical Xbox console to enjoy these games now. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Let's keep going. But it should be known that xCloud really doesn't work very well at the time and the moment. I agree. It's actually pretty interesting. Before this announcement, I was actually going to come here, rip xCloud a new one, because I've been, as you guys know, it released last week, so I've been playing a lot, and I do have to say I have not been impressed. It's gotten a little better, from what I experienced before, but still, guys, I mean, it kills me that this is still exclusive to 720p. I just what are you guys thinking, man? But like I got some killer tech this week that passed um, with the active with the Samsung. What's this called? Samsung. Oh, I'm drawing the blank. I talked about the Duo. What's this called? Holy crap! The Fold. With the Fold 2, right? If you look at the screen, it's a thing of beauty. 120 refresh rate. You open it, it's such a beautiful screen, and the fact that this is limited to, I mean, you pull up Stadia in here. I do have Wi-Fi, right? You pull up Stadia. I mean, you pull up a game, and it's incredible. But with xCloud, you do not get this. You are limited to 720p instead of playing the game on like 1080p on a display like this. You don't get that, which is such a bummer. They have some really good games on xCloud or Gamepass game streaming, and they are all limited to 720p. It's just like, what the hell were they thinking? But yes, they can do a better job with improving xCloud a lot. And I think next year when they talked about potentially Series X blades coming to the cloud, I think they're gonna make some changes. But hey, at least you have the option to play in the cloud. It's to where, and on your smartphones, it's to where Sony is still stuck, with PlayStation only in the PC, right? So at least they're making a little progress. I really like the value of EA Play now. Bethesda is such a so I was saying this on our Discord. All they need to do next is get Ubisoft Uplay on there. Again, we have EA, so now we have EA games on. We have Bethesda game. We probably will never see Activision on Game Pass, or is this strike? Activision's a very, you know what? I should not say that actually. The fact that they have EA on there now, actually, this hope that we might see Activision. But if we get Uplay Plus, if we get Uplay Plus on Game Pass, and now we have Bethesda and we have EA, and then we have all the acquisition that they've made with the first party studio, the argument that we made recently of third party AAA games being available day one on Game Pass will be a thing of the past. Um, I I believe Microsoft is working. They're doing some other stuff, that we're not even aware of. So don't be surprised if you hear of different acquisitions coming through. But again, yeah, this is getting EA with Bethesda. I wonder where Square Enix falls with this though. Are they talking to them as well? Microsoft paid 7.2 billion to stop Halo brute memes. Nah, Eli was good. Nah, I don't think this deal is just not a deal that can be like strike up overnight. And the Halo situation happened 2 months ago, so I think this has been a work in progress. That's what I'm saying. Don't be surprised if they're talking to other people that even right now that we don't know about. Microsoft approach is how do we make Game Pass the ultimate, if you want to call it that, the ultimate service. And the best way to do that is to get killer IPs on there. And this is not going to be the end of it. We're going to see more things. Like here's what I think might happen next for Game Pass. I think we're going to start seeing deals, kind of like we saw with the Outer Worlds, right? Deals to where we'll be getting exclusive third-party games on Game Pass. Now, Microsoft's gonna have to pay for that, but I can see a game like Cyberpunk. Imagine they strike a deal with Cyberpunk. Say, hey, and they have the money to do so. Say, hey, CD Projekt Red, we'll give you 1.5 billion. We'll give you 1.5 billion. And again, they have to be strategic, right? They have to think about the games that are going to make the most sense. We'll give you 1.5 billion to bring Cyberpunk to be a same day release on Game Pass as it would be on PlayStation or other platforms. Who would turn down 1.5 bill? That's easy money for CD Projekt Red in their pockets, right? And Microsoft will have. So I can see them taking that approach to bring, third-party IPs to the Game Pass library. This is not the end. That's what I'm telling people. People are like, oh my goodness, like this is the greatest news. I see more great or good news coming for the Game Pass team. Great. Let's see here. Someone said Sony has big news for PS Now. Please tell me, what's the news? I would like to, if anyone has some PlayStation Now news. Yo. My mic kind of went off, just making sure. If anyone has some PlayStation Now news, please let me know, because I'm dying. I'm kind of disappointed right now with Sony. Like I said, they're focused on this generation. Don't get me wrong, PS5 is gonna come out and it's gonna slay and it's gonna kill it. But I feel like Microsoft is gearing for the future of gaming, where yes, the Series S and X might not sell as much as the PlayStation 5, but 5-10 years down the road, right, you're gonna see all this acquisition, all these killer games start coming out from these studios. Low point of entry with Gamepass, getting all these games, while Sony's still gonna be trying to sell, you know. PS Now needs something done, and it's kind of a bummer that we at this point I thought they would announce something the last showcase, but the fact that they didn't at this point, I won't be surprised if PS Now just stays the same, which is really sad. I mean, you look at the leaps and bounds that Game Pass has made in just a year's time compared to PlayStation Now being available as long as it has, and still no major changes, right? PS Now isn't good, but it's okay for the price. It's not good. I'll just be real with you, man. It's not good. Game Pass Ultimate, yeah, $11. Yeah. Don't forget to thank you, Chief. Oh, the fold is the I haven't really played around with it a lot. I actually still have my sim on the Ultra, the S20 Ultra. Like, I haven't even put my sim on here. I'll tell. So the reason, there's no case for this at all, right? So this is $2,000 phone, so there's no case, no screen protector until they said October. So I like put this in the sleeve and take it with me everywhere I go, because if I drop it or if I scratch it, I'll be pissed off. But they don't sell any cases right now for this. So I'm still using my S20 Ultra as my daily driver, you know. But yeah, no, the fold is, I'm having a ball. A video is gonna be coming. I don't know when. I've been really busy with the kiddo going back to school, but sometime this week I'll try to make a tech video, cloud gaming video with the phone. I could see Google buying Ubi's. Yeah, they should. They should. They should. That's all I got to say about that. But we'll see. They should have bought Bethesda. If I was smart, I would have bought it, because Bethesda played ball with Google. I mean, we got Rage 2, we got Doom Eternal, you know. But I think Ben was pointing out, Game Pass actually has most of, we had Elder Scrolls soon, Stadia, but Game Pass actually has a lot of Bethesda's game on it, with Dishonored, and yeah, they have a lot of games that I wasn't aware of. But so it makes sense why the game's already on there, so it makes sense why they would sell to Microsoft instead of Google. How much you save if you get 24 series? I didn't do the math, but I mean, you're paying $24 a month for 24 months. So you do that math, I'm not sure. But again, I think is overall a killer deal for sure. Do you speak? I love the name. What's good? I'm good, bro. How are you, man? +1 like. Thank you for the likes, man. Appreciate it. Love the name. Where do you see Amazon? The only thing I see Amazon having for it is if they tie in their cloud gaming platform with Prime membership. That's just that is just it's gonna take off, because now let me Google how many Amazon Prime members they are. Just like Prime Videos, if they come and say, okay, we're gonna release our cloud game platform, and everyone who owns Amazon Prime gets access to this. Prime, let me see. Let me see. Users. So they have 100, and there were, as of December of 2019, there's 112 million, right? Amazon Prime members. And that's December of 2019 when 2020. So they're probably sitting at like 120, 130, right? Because it went from 95 million June 2018 to 112 in December 2000. So I would say probably 120 mil. And the PlayStation 4 just crossed 100 mil. So this is potential 120 million people who are going to have access to Amazon Cloud Game Service once they release it. So no point at barrier of entry, right? So again, this will be a smart move for them. This is the quickest way for them to grow and to make noise. Just be like, hey, we already have 120 million people. Boom, you guys have all access to our cloud gaming. Then when it comes to numbers, they can say we've sold more than da 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 da. We have 120 million people. Da da da. I mean, numbers speaks volumes sometimes. So, but yeah, if they do that, then yeah, I see them, making noise. But again, again, something companies are realizing now, especially like with Google Stadia being on the market, you need games, bro. And as we've seen with the games that Amazon first party studio have been cooking up, they haven't been that great. So now, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna do what Microsoft's doing by shelling out a heavy catch? Again, they have the money to, but it's going to be interesting to see how aggressive, because right now I don't think Google Stadia is being as aggressive as they should be. If I was Google Stadia, I'll be pulling the Microsoft. I'll be going knocking at these devs doors and say, hey, are you struggling financially? Here, I will give you 1 billion to get your IP on our console. Me give us some, school. They have the money to do so, but they are just not doing it. That's the way you see Microsoft make noise. I'm interested to see how bullish Amazon is going to be with paying for exclusives, because that's going to tell how serious they are with wanting to see this be something that's successful. I hope that we don't see them focus heavily on bringing the first party studio games and pushing just that. I want to see them be aggressive by acquiring. Google actually did a decent job acquiring, building first party studios, but it could be more aggressive. And like someone mentioned on here, shell out cash for Bethesda. How much is it going to take? Not Ubisoft. How much is it going to take? 12 billion. All right, I'll talk to what was his name, Sander Pasha. I'll talk to whoever I need to talk to. Let's cut this check out. We need this company. That's what Microsoft is doing, man. They're willing to pay what it takes to get great IPs and get great publishers under the studio. And again, whoever who is more aggressive is going to be the winner in the long run. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Amazon does with this. Let's keep going though. Prime Cloud Gaming. You think that's what's going to be called? I can actually see this. Prime Cloud Game. We all love Trump's guns. Unless we don't talk politics on here, man, it's just gonna go south. So we're gonna leave it where it's at. 600. So there you go. There you go. But then something to consider. I think you're talking about the Xbox Series S, how much it will cost to get in the 24 months period. But something to consider is not everyone has $600 to shell out right now. Just like cell phones, right? People don't have $2,000 to pay for cell phone, but if you can get in plan and pay it off monthly, it's more doable. So again, just having that option is a beautiful thing. And people are like rejoicing that Sony's killing it right now, right? with PlayStation selling out. But something to take into consideration is this is an open window for Microsoft, and I believe they've even tweeted about how disastrous the PlayStation pre-orders were, and they said, "Don't worry, we won't have the same experience. Also, will be better." Here's the thing: if people cannot get a PS4, guess where they're gonna go for next gen? Gamepass, Xbox, and the fact that they have now a way for you to make the purchase for an Xbox without actually having the money up front. It's man, I'm telling you, man, Microsoft's clicking on all cylinders this generation. Again, they're not focusing on this generation. They're thinking long terms. The investment that they're making right now is for long term as to where Sony is going gun blazing now. Are they gonna have the endurance long term to see? Right. Why Xbox Game Pass have games leaving? I thought the most cloud streaming service. I mean, you take a look at Netflix, you take a look at Hulu, HBO Max, Disney Plus. This will be the only thing that is going to stay. And this is where Google Stadia is separate from this, because Google Stadia is a store. That's the benefit, and people should give Stadia credit for this, because a lot of people were bashing them for this. But the beautiful thing with Stadia is that it's a store, so games are not going to leave. As to where with subscription service like Game Pass, you dislike deals right in the background, so games don't stay. You sign a deal, okay, my game is going to be available for this amount of period of time. How much are you going to pay me for it? Boom, deal is made, right? But Stadia is a store, so the games are going to stay regardless, because you purchase it. Now, unless they remove the game from the store, then that's when the game leaves. But it's not a subscription service that you have to worry about, unless a game is a pro game. Then you have to think about that, because it goes to that route of it being a subscription type service then as well. But again, yeah, if this is a subscription based to where you're paying a certain amount a month, expect games to leave. It's just the way of subscription models. I just did the math. You only save the hardware with their monthly payment. But again, it's just like smartphones, man. You might not have $600 to shell up front, or $300, and this is way, I mean, in the long run, Microsoft is growing customers and they making money from that. But again, with the economy the way it is, this is not a bad option, because some people just don't have $300 to throw in the console right now. But yeah, I hear that though. I hear that. Thank you guys for keeping the chat going, man. It's pretty cool to see you guys on here. Lee says Google does have to be more aggressive. I agree. They have to be. So I was in Discord today, and it's so cute. This was so cute. So after Xbox announcement with purchasing Bethesda, Google released their announcement of cute indie games coming to the platform. It's cute. But that's what I'm saying, right? Like, don't pay for those, bro. You know what I'm saying? If they come to you and they want to cut, don't pay for those. Pay for stuff that people want to see on Google Stadia. That's the difference I'm talking about when it comes to be aggressive. You see Microsoft making these bullish moves, and Google is acquiring rights to indie games, right? But hey, Game Pass also is $15 a month. Yeah. Let's see. Do you think the Series S will support cloud gaming? How crazy is it if the Series 2 can outperform 3080? That'd be cool to see. I do think they're gonna push cloud gaming with the Series S. Series SX name is so similar, like it drives me crazy with trying to pronounce. But yeah, I do think they're gonna approach cloud gaming with the Series S. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. I love you. Are you American? I'm Bangladesh. I'm Nigerian. Thank you. It's hilarious. Take Two said they support business models That makes sense. Yeah. If Google is sending you $10 billion, that's a business model that makes sense, right? And so here's where I feel like Microsoft has an advantage over, PlayStation, is they have the cash, dude. Something people have to let me show you guys what I'm talking about. But something people have to realize is people think Sony's a big company, but they're nowhere near what Google or Microsoft is. I don't know if you guys follow stocks, but I'm gonna educate you guys a little bit. Let me show you guys something here on my screen real quick, right? So the market cap increase actually, which is good. So it shows. All right, so let me share this with you guys. All right, share my screen. Give you guys a little education. Someone said that and was cracking up. They're trying to sound really educated. I think it was a skit, and they're like, I want to educate you guys. It's funny. But if you look at here, this is Sony's market cap. Hopefully you guys can see this, right? All right, cool. So if you scroll down, you see the market cap. Now, if you guys don't know what market cap is pretty much like how much money these people they have, and they can spend. So almost 100 billion, right? So again, last I checked this like almost 2 years ago, and they were like at 48 or 50. So it shows that somewhere down the line, maybe the camera division or the PlayStation brand, they've made some money and they're looking really good. But let's take a look at Microsoft's market cap, right? And look at this, guys. So you have Sony at 98, almost 100 billion, which is nothing. I mean, which is a lot. I mean, but you look at Microsoft at 1.52 trillion dollars, right? Dude, you have 100 billion compared to, 100 billion compared to 1.5 trillion. All right. So you take Google's market cap. Let's look at what Google is flexing, right? So Google is at 971 billion, right? So almost to the trillion, right? So they have money to flex too, right? And let's look at Amazon's market cap, right? Oh, sorry, Amazon Live Chat. Let's look at Amazon's market cap. All right. 1.47 trillion, right? So how can Sony compete with these three top dogs, right? These guys have money to wipe the butts whenever they feel like it, right? And so Sony at 100 bill, which is, again, it's a lot, but they can't be. And don't forget, PlayStation is just a little division of Sony, and so is Xbox for Microsoft, and Stadia for Google is like chop change. I mean, it's just a startup company. They probably don't even make profit for Google yet. But these are, I mean, like, it's crazy. It's like Sony cannot flex. Like Microsoft can go there and buy another studio with 7 billion, 10 billion and still be fine. Sony does that like 3 or 4 times, and these shareholders will have a lot to say about that. Let's see where Apple is. Man, so a lot of these tech companies have passed the 1 trill. That was a big deal. So Apple's head above 1.9 trill. I remember when it was like a big deal. We were trying to like see who would get to 1 trill, and Google still hasn't hit 1 trill yet. But it's crazy to see Apple and Microsoft already surpassed 1 trill. It's insane. But yeah, this just shows, right, how this just shows like the flexing muscles of Microsoft to just pull out a move like that and still be comfortable, right? Oh, let me show you guys Nintendo. Let me show you guys this real quick. Let's see where Nintendo's market cap is, right? It's cute. Maybe they're doing better now. Last time I checked, let's see where they at. Oh, they haven't have the market. Let me check this one out. Market cap. Give us where you at, Nintendo? Huh? Why are we not seeing the market cap here? Interesting. Last I checked, they were like at what 58 bill, maybe a little more now because the Switch has just been successful. But man, it's don't be afraid if Microsoft flexes more. That's what I'm saying though. Google can flex too. I mean, they're not in the 1 trill yet, but they're getting close. They got the money to flex, man. So they need to flex more. Where did I leave off? I got about like 15 minutes. So I should be able to take some of y'all's questions. You don't like Take Two? Yeah, but they make GTA, man. And Red Dead Redemption. Is there a lot of tool that can measure control latency in Android? I have a few. There is a tool, I can't think of the name. The DM me in Discord, JC, and I should be able to get that to you. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but there is a tool. Oh, yeah. So PS Now and PS5. We will launch PS1, 2, 3. That's what. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not. People like backwards compatibility, man. It's not my thing. My thing is how can we play. I would like the current PlayStation 5 games in the cloud, but if not that, can we at least play PlayStation 4 games in the cloud? How sick would it be to go and revisit Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation Now, or God of War, even though that was there, Spider-Man, heavy, those games. I would love to experience PS4 games in the cloud. I mean, if you're not going to do it 5, at least do it 4. Easy, guys, easy. That would easily just be like, all right, we're focusing on PS5 now. Let's make our backwards catalog of games for the PS4 available in the cloud. That's it. That's all they have to do. And for now, to make PlayStation more relevant, right? Just be like, we'll bring support for backwards compatibility for PlayStation 4 and PS Now. Who wouldn't love to play Ghost of Tsushima? I mean, play The Last of Us 2. PlayStation 4 still has, some great IPs, man. But that would be a good move. I mean, it doesn't have to be PS5. Make PS4 games available. I like you. Yeah. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Education. It's funny, right? It's crazy. It's funny. Victor, what's good, Vic? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. Do you have information for RTX and Fortnite? You know in how many weeks it'll be available? I'm sick of the 1080. RTX and Fortnite is available. We just did a video for that. What are you talking about? It's available, man. RTX for Fortnite is available. Stop the cap. What? So Amazon is going to join the cloud wars. I don't know, man. It's. I think there's rumors. They did an article that was supposed to be available for this year, but they ran into issues with COVID, so that's probably why this is delay. I own Apple. Oh, you're Victor. Hello, sir. Can we be friends, Vic? So you must be doing pretty well over there, Vic. Nice. Do any cloud gaming PC run R2 RDR2 Red Dead Redemption 2? Woof, that was a mouthful. Cloud gaming PC. Are you talking about cloud game platforms and services? Because Red Dead is in Stadia, dude. I don't know if that's what you're asking, but correct me if I'm not getting you correctly. Let's see. Mr. Russell was good. I just came across your live streams. How do you feel about? I love Stadia, man. I really do. I really do. Stadia, I can't stress this enough, has the most potential. Latency wise is one of the best performing cloud gaming services we've tried on the channel. We love it. The thing though is I feel like Google is holding Stadia back from becoming all that it truly can be. The PR sucks. They're still missing features. They're not being aggressive with. I mean, we got a game called Outcasters. Nothing against them. Actually, the devs are pretty nice. We talked to them on Twitter, so nothing against Outcasters. But I mean, for that to be like Google's exclusive highlight for this year, it's kind of laughable, right? So again, Stadia as a platform works really well. And again, this channel, we want every cloud game platform to be really successful. So we're right up there. We like are fired up about Google Stadia. So why we cover it on here? But I feel like it doesn't feel like they are as enthusiastic as we are. And that's the frustration we run into with Stadia. But Stadia has a lot of potential. And I think we should be hearing more from Stadia. I don't think they're going to end this year being silent. There's a reason, guys, think about this. There's a reason why we don't have a confirmation date yet for Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia. Think about that. It's no coincidence that we know the release date. We know GeForce Now has came out and said that it's going to be their day one with ray tracing. We know that. Why is Google Stadia Cyberpunk quiet? Think about that. And think about what you know about CD Projekt Red, right? These people, when they bring something, they want to bring it like they pride themselves with quality, right? When you think of CD Projekt Red, I mean, The Witcher 3, for God's sakes, is getting the next gen remastered. I mean, these people want to be like, we have the best looking game. They pride themselves in quality. What I think is happening with Cyberpunk for Stadia might be a Gen 2, right? The reason why we are not hearing anything, maybe they can't say too much about it. Maybe they're waiting for Google to confirm Gen 2. And someone on this live stream or podcast already said something about how cool would it be if version 2 came out on Stadia's birthday, right? I think why we haven't heard anything from Cyberpunk on Stadia yet is because there's an announcement that possibly and potentially can be dropped where they would connect and Cyberpunk will be that game to push what Google is trying to present. So if it's version 2 with ray tracing, with 120, whatever the case may be, I feel like Cyberpunk will be that showcase game. Think about that. There's a reason. How odd is it that we know when Cyberpunk is coming for all of the other platforms except Google Stadia? Just chewing that one for a bit, guys. I got 5 minutes, so let me hurry up here. You guys are on here. I'm retired. Oh, there you go. So you good, bro? You got stocks in Microsoft and Apple, bro. You are good, sir. I'm not gonna play RTS, but having RTS on Fortnite without true. That's a good point. I play Stadium mostly. There you go. What up, Tim? Again, Tim, thanks for being a supporter, man. Again, for those of you guys who support this channel by becoming members in Super Chat, man, we really, really appreciate it. A lot of work goes into this channel. You guys don't understand. YouTubing is not easy. I'm sure you can ask most of the creators, but yo, we're up. It's 3-4 a.m. and I'm sending a text in chief, man. We're up, you know. We don't sleep, man. You know, like I had to work today at what's look at that, I can't remember. But my daughter's first day of school was today, and I had to wake up at 5 a.m. to do some paperwork and get some videos stuff done. but I went to bed at 3:30, so I'm running on 2 hours of sleep, and that's what YouTube looks like. So it's not easy. So for those of you guys who would support us, man, really appreciate it, because it shows that you guys like what we do and see the work that goes into this, man. So Timmy, thank you, bro. Appreciate that. What feature do you wish? Did I even read your question to me? Yeah, I I think just Stadia, but after it's patched maximum session PC, it was just, yeah. I think it was Stadia, but after it was patched, it doesn't work. Oh, really? Huh. That is weird. I don't know why that is. That is weird. What features would you wish? What up, Semi Pro? For what platform? For Stadia? Family sharing, I would love to see come to Stadia. People are like, oh, and cross-platform play. I would love every game to support cross-platform, but people are saying Stream Connect. Is this not Stream Connect? What's the one where you can play with YouTubers? I'm so sick of that feature. I'm so sick of hearing about it. Like, I wanted it to crowd play. I wanted it to come a while ago, but the fact that Google has just been toying with this for so long, I'm just like kind of done with crowd play. But I would say features would be family sharing, and also mic support for mobile. That would be a good one. And yeah, so hope that answers that. What sort of specs hardware does Stadia use? Oof. If you go, I can't remember the top of my head, but if you go to their unveiling at the game CDC, I believe it was last year, they have a slideshow. You can probably Google the image, and they compared it to the PlayStation 4 and 4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and they were like, it's like twice as powerful. So if you watch that CDC clip of last year, you should get a better understanding on what powers Google Stadia. Hey, just join. Hope all is well. Any news in PS Now? Will they upgrade the resolution? We haven't heard anything yet, but stay tuned here. Soon, I mean, as soon as we hear anything from the updated PS Now, we definitely will let you guys know in here, like we always do. I love Stadia as well. It would do good. No need. Yeah. What up, Roshan? That sounds like an Indian name, right, Roshan? I watch a lot of Bollywood. My wife is Indian. She's so we watch a lot of Bollywood movies, and so the name kind of connects a little bit. I have GeForce Now, but I rarely touch it. Yeah, I the only game I play in GeForce Now is Rogue Company, really, and I'm still trying to beat Dead Stranding. But yeah, that's the only reason why I put up my GeForce Now as well. I kind of knew Xbox would win, and it does this way. This $1 trillion company, Mamba, what up, man? A bunch of gaming companies, they win that. Yeah, I don't know if they'll win, but they are just positioned themselves in. They're doing everything they need to do right, and I feel like we should give them kudos for that. I'm definitely going to attempt to pre-order Xbox. By the way, I love Stadia and Shadow. Mom, but yeah, Stadia and Shadow is great, man. Try maximum settings though. If you're waiting for RTX to come to Shadow, maximum settings has it available. So if you haven't tried max settings, give it a shot. Chief covered the video of the overview. So if you're interested to see what that looks like, you can just look at that video. What feature would you wish in Stadia? I think I already addressed this, right? Family sharing and mic support and cross-platform play. That would be interesting. Cyberpunk Gen 2. Yeah, just keep an eye for that. I mean, there's a reason, I think. I love cloud gaming. I have R9 that local Wi-Fi for. Nice, nice. It's good to see some cloud gaming supporters and lovers on here. Awesome. Why hasn't any platform fully support Steam libraries, or why hasn't Steam come out with you? Yeah, that's a great question. Now, there's been rumors and speculation that Steam is working on their own thing, but the bigger question should be, why doesn't Steam acquire GeForce Now? Think about that for a bit. All right, fellas, I am out of time. I need to try. Yeah, effort. Yeah, check it out. All right, fellas, appreciate you guys. Don't forget, on Wednesday we should be back on here. Every Monday and Wednesday we do the open chat, and on Saturdays a podcast. Sorry, I missed last Saturday. I wasn't feeling too well. I think it was because of the fire and inhaling a lot of smoke, but should pick up again next Saturday. So again, good things coming your way. We have a lot of videos planned for this week. So stay tuned. Appreciate you guys. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, fellas.